Mimi the Mouse and the Shy Animals. In a small village on the edge of the forest lived a little mouse named Mimi. Mimi was a curious and energetic mouse who loved to play with her friends. However, she noticed that her friends, the other animals in the village, were very shy and unable to express their feelings. Their daily meetings were pleasant, but they lacked deeper bonds and openness. One evening, as Mimi gazed at the stars, she decided that something needed to change. She wanted her friends to be more open so that everyone could enjoy true friendship. Mimi knew it wouldn't be easy, but she was determined to help her friends break through their barriers. The next day, Mimi decided to talk to her friends. She first visited Casper, a small rabbit who always hid in his burrow when someone tried to talk to him. "Hi, Casper," Mimi said cheerfully. "I would like us to try to be more open with each other. What do you think?" Casper looked at her uncertainly, but nodded after a moment. "It might be difficult, Mimi," he replied quietly, "but I'll try." Mimi invited all the animals to a meeting in the forest. There was Casper, Zosha, a small squirrel who was always shy and frank, a hedgehog who was afraid to express his feelings. Mimi told them about her plan. "I would like us to try talking about our feelings and be more open," said Mimi. "I know it might be difficult, but together we can do it." The animals looked at each other uncertainly, but seeing Mimi's determination, they decided to try. At first it was tough. Casper still hid in his burrow, Zosha avoided conversations, and Frank remained silent. However, Mimi did not give up. Every day she organized small meetings where everyone could talk about their feelings. "Today, let's try to say something nice about each other," Mimi suggested. "Casper, you're very fast and always help others," said Zosha. Casper smiled shyly. "Thank you, Zosha. You're very clever and always find the best nuts," he replied. With each passing day, the animals became more open. Casper started coming out of his burrow to play with others. Zosha began talking about her dreams, and Frank shared his fears. One day, Mimi realized that some animals, despite being shy, cared deeply about their friends. She knew that Casper always brought extra carrots for Zosha, even though he never mentioned it. Zosha, in turn, always collected the best nuts for Frank, who was afraid to leave his home. Mimi decided to talk to them about it. "I know it's sometimes hard to express your feelings," Mimi said. "But just because you're shy doesn't mean you don't care. I see how you look out for each other." Casper looked at Mimi gratefully. "That's true, Mimi," he said. "Sometimes I don't know how to express what I feel, but I really care about my friends." Zosha and Frank nodded in agreement. After many weeks of meetings and conversations, the animals became true friends. Mimi returned to her mouse burrow, knowing she had accomplished something special. Her friends were now more open and happier, and they also understood that care and love can be expressed in many ways. Since then, the village was full of joy and laughter. The animals learned how important it is to express their feelings and be open with each other. Mimi was proud of her friends and knew that together they could overcome any difficulty. "Sometimes it only takes one small step to change everything," Mimi said to herself, looking at the stars. "It's worth being brave and helping others break their barriers. Even if someone is closed off, it doesn't mean they don't care. It's important to give time and support." Mimi and her friends learned that openness and expressing feelings are key to building true friendships. With courage and support, they can overcome any obstacle. Mimi showed that it's worth being brave and helping others, even if it seems difficult at first. Even if someone is reserved, they can show care and love in many different ways.